Hello YouTube, a quick project update, yet another project. So this is an arcade one-up cabinet. It's a Miss Pac-Man 40th anniversary cabinet. This is a bit of an interesting one because most conversions, arcade one-up conversions, are to MAME. This one is for a Jamma conversion, so just wanted to make a couple of observations as part of this little upload just to help people out with this. So what we've got in here is we've got a midway Pac-Man board with a Pac-Man to Jamma adapter, a slightly chaotic Jamma harness going up to the control panel. In the control panel we've got a samurai joystick, we've got some micro-switch buttons in there. And then we have a GBS 8200 converter, scaler. So two things I wanted to mention that were a little bit problematic with this. So thing number one is this LCD driver for the arcade one-up monitor, and in this case the arcade one-up monitor is a DV17OYGZ/N10, and that is common Gen 3 monitor, I believe. It's in Dragon's Lair on the other side of the room, and this pretty generic board was an Amazon purchase, and it's much cheaper on AliExpress if you're prepared to wait. They're about, I don't know, £10, £8 to £10, something like that. You'll pay more on Amazon, but you'll get obviously much faster delivery. So this was giving me a bit of a problem because when I attached it to the screen, so we've got the video board, the video signals connector, and you'll notice that the red wires go to pin 1 on the silk screen, and they're going towards this control connector, so to the left of the board as you're looking at it. And then we've got the inverter power, so that is keyed, so you can't get that the wrong way around, so no problem. There's a little ground wire. In this case it's going to the DVI socket, which is part of the common ground. So that's all fine. And then we've got a VGA input from the GBS 8200. Initially, this was just giving a white screen, i.e. the backlight was on, the power would come on, and there's no signal. And I tried this with a HDMI input with a Raspberry Pi. I tried both the Jamma board, the GBS 8200 has its own output, and this thing also has an output. Even though there's no input signal, before it shuts down it'll tell you no signal detected. Nothing, just a backlight, and that was it. And initially I thought, oh, the board's broken, and then I realized on just by looking at someone else's advert, it's not very commonly referred to online, but you'll notice there's a jumper, and that jumper says PVCC, so that'll be voltage of some kind, and we've got 5 volts, 12 volts, and 3.3 volts. What I noticed was there was no jumper on here, but I saw an advert that had a jumper with a big arrow pointing down to this first pin. So this is actually 12 volt powered. You can power them on 5 volts. I think the input range is 5 to 12 volts. This is on the 12 volt rail of a Jamma power supply. It doesn't make any difference in practice, really. People talk about 5 or 12 volts on these boards. I don't really think it makes a big difference. If you've got a Jamma power supply, it's going to deliver enough current to run this board, so it's not going to be a problem in that regard. But you need that jumper installed if you're going to get a video signal. So no jumper means you'll just have the backlight and the power light, and that's it. So please remember, check that jumper if you're running off 12 volts. So that's thing number one. Thing number two, a lot of arcade boards will output 5 volts logic level on the signal pins, on the video pins, including the sync signal. And what was happening on the GBS 8200 was that the picture was rolling. In other words, it was losing sync and it was glitching. To fix that, what you do is you attach a 2 kilo ohm resistor in series onto the signal wire, onto the sync wire, which is conveniently off the Jamma harness. There's a socket for that on GBS, and that fixes the problem. Rock solid picture. So I'm going to do a quick follow-up video just to show this thing in action. Once I've finished a couple of little tweaks, I'm going to put a volume control in the control panel, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. So yeah, just a little bit of a tip. See you all later.